Does it get much worse than this? Probably will on Tuesday night against Bayern Munich. I don't know where to start. I mean, there's a lot to talk about. There really is a lot to discuss, but at the same time, it's Groundhog Day. It's same old with Arsenal, and I'm getting annoyingly accustomed to these defeats. That one against Chelsea, wasn't really surprised about it. Today, no real reaction. I mean, I'm not surprised about this. I'm really not, because it's just stale. It's the same old, same old. It's what we've become accustomed to. It's what we've seen before, time and time again. And we shouldn't expect it, but we do. We really do. And that's the horrible thing about supporting Arsenal at the minute. I think the one defeat that really got me upset this season was that one against Watford, because that shouldn't have happened. I never expected that in a million years. And that was at a point where we were still in the title race. But now, I mean, I don't even think... I struggle to see us getting top four. And we should not be saying that. We've invested 100 million into this squad over the summer. We've got Alexis Sanchez, Mesut Ozil in our side. We've got a fantastic squad of players. And we're looking at finishing outside the top four to a Liverpool side that has got Clavan at the back. And fair play to him, he played really well today. But, I mean, come on. It's not acceptable. It's really not acceptable. It's not good. It's, I mean, watching Arsenal right now, it's like filling up a syringe with liquid depression and injecting it into your arm. That's what it's like. It really, really is hard to support this team in a minute. I mean, today, the lineup, that was horrendous right from the get-go. I mean, it was, in a way, it was exciting to see Arsene Wenger try something a bit different. It looked like we went with a 4-4-2, Danny Welbeck and Olivier Giroud leading the line, Oxlade-Chamberlain and Alex Iwobi on the flanks, and the midfield pivot of Coquelin and Xhaka. To be fair, I didn't really particularly want to see Giroud, Coquelin, Iwobi and Monreal all line up in the same team today. These are players that, in my eyes, should not be starting regularly week in, week out for us. Credit to them, they're good individual players, but are they good enough to be starting regularly for Arsenal? In my opinion, no. And I think that's a problem that we've got in this squad at the moment, and it's a problem that Arsene Wenger has had for years, having too much blind faith in certain players. The team lineup was wrong for me. I just want to talk about Alex Iwobi quickly, because he's a player that's come under a lot of criticism today, and he's come under a lot of criticism in recent weeks. And fair enough, he has been deserving of criticism. He has put in some very abject performances at times, but for me, if you look at him and you look at the way he's been managed, the type of games he's been playing in, the type of performances he's put in against the likes of Bayern Munich, Chelsea, the game today, he's 20 years old. Should he really be playing in games of this magnitude on a regular basis, especially when he's not playing well? I mean, he's a young guy and you do think he's going to have blue patches, but honestly, Arsene Wenger is not managing this guy properly. If you look at Iheanacho at City, the way he's being managed by Pep Guardiola, Iheanacho knows himself that as a 20-year-old player, there are going to be senior players ahead of him that are going to get in that City side more often than not. With Iwobi, when we've got the likes of Lucas Perez, Alexis Sanchez on the bench today, Theo Walcott, and Iwobi is still starting for us. Not to single out Iwobi, because I think he's an incredibly exciting prospect. I think whenever he has played for us, especially at the start of his career, he looked phenomenal. I think he's got so much to offer this Arsenal team. But at 20 years old, it's just nature that he's maybe not going to be at the level we expect him to be just yet. So for me, that's something that was worth highlighting. The rest of the team, Xhaka and Coquelin, why we're starting with them in midfield in a game where we really should have been going for it. I mean, I'd like to have seen a bit more ambition from us to start maybe Chamberlain in the midfield alongside Xhaka, especially in the absence of someone like Mesut Ozil. There was no drive in that midfield. Chamberlain, I don't think he's anywhere near as good on the flank as he is through the middle. Giroud looked very isolated at times. Danny Welbeck didn't really get into the game until Alexis Sanchez came on. Danny Welbeck, for me, our best player in this match. But that first half was dreadful. It wasn't just the team lineup as well, it was a general lack of enthusiasm from Arsenal. It was the way we didn't look up for it. Everything was flat. We couldn't string two passes together. We didn't look as interested in the game as Liverpool did. And Liverpool scored when they weren't even playing particularly well. I don't think Liverpool, for that first half an hour, I don't think they did anything to particularly bring the game to life. I thought they had some good moments. Coutinho, Firmino, should I say, looked very energetic, but they didn't really, do anything amazing. But they got their goal. Credit to them. They tore us apart. I mean, Monreal at fault once again. I'm struggling to remember the goals, to be honest, because it's just infuriating talking about that game once again. It was Firmino with the opening goal, Mane with a drilled ball across, and then Firmino getting on the end of it, to make it 1-0 to Liverpool. And then they make it 2-0 later on in the game. Mane with a Monreal at fault once again. No one tracking him, and Mane with a wonderfully driven shot past Petr Cech to make it 2-0. Then we got back into the game courtesy of Danny Welbeck with a wonderful chip ball. Alexis Sanchez, who came on at half-time, Wenger admitting his failings. It was a mistake not to play him in this game, a massive mistake, and it did cost us. Could have been a different outcome if Alexis had started this match. And Danny Welbeck plays it across the keeper. Wonderfully lob ball to make it 2-1. But then the game effectively killed off. We did have some good moments in that second half. I mean, I don't want to make this an entirely negative thing. It is kind of turning out that way, but we did have some chances. Iwobi, I think, divered on the ball for too long, but he did set up Alexis Sanchez, who had an effort, parried at goal, came away. Lallana tore our midfield to bits single-handedly. Played a wonderful ball through to Divock Origi, who then ran down that right flank, played it into Wijnaldum. Our centre-back partnership parted like the Red Sea, and then Wijnaldum with a fantastic finish to make it 3-1 to Liverpool. Game over, season over for Arsenal in terms of the Premier League. We're in a really bad position, and for me, Arsene Wenger has no way out of this. Even those so loyal to him can't defend this. It's incredibly poor when we've got a near fully fit squad and we end the game with a midfield three of Xhaka, Chamberlain and Alex Iwobi. We are scraping at the bottom of the barrel at the moment with Arsenal. Our most important game this season is now that one at home to Lincoln in the Cup, which is going to be massive. That's all we've got left to play for this season. Do I see us finishing in the top four? History will tell you that we will finish in the top four, but Liverpool are better than us today. But then, they're probably going to go and lose the whole at some point. And then you've got, Chelsea, who are going to run away with the title. United, despite their drop points to Bournemouth today. I mean, they're really starting to play some good football at the minute. City, they're looking really good at the minute. Spurs playing some good football. I mean, do we even deserve to finish in the top four? I don't think we do. I don't think we've done enough to warrant finishing in the top four unless we win all of our remaining games. We've lost 6 games this season. And at this point, we've still 3 months to go. That's really bad. That's really, really bad. We just look deflated. We look disinterested in the game. For me, Sanchez, to not start him today was ridiculous. It was a ridiculous move. Whatever you think of him, whether you think he's been selfish, whether you think he was Arsene Wenger's tactic not to play him, this guy, he's got to be starting ahead of someone like Alex Iwobi in a match like this. And that's, again, not to single out Alex Iwobi, but Alexis is the superior player. He's the senior player as well, and he should be starting in a game of this magnitude. These are games that are tailor-made for him. And the way he reacted at times in this match, I think he's off, and as long as he's professional about it and he doesn't kick up a fuss, if he doesn't hand in a transfer request, as I say, if he's professional, then fair play. He deserves titles. He really does deserve to win league titles, and he's not going to do that at Arsenal. He's really not. The worrying thing for me is we've still got to travel to the likes of Southampton. That's our game in hand. Do I see us winning that? They put 4 goals past Watford today. That's going to be a very tough game for us. Spurs away. I mean, I can already see Harry Kane wheeling away with his finger in the air. Not looking forward to that game. Both Manchester clubs at home. We're awful against the top 6. We really are, and we're in for a treat on Tuesday night against Bayern Munich, aren't we? Looking at our next 6 fixtures: Bayern at home, Lincoln after that, Leicester at home. Leicester playing some very good football at the moment. West Brom away. That's going to be horrible. Man City at home, and then West Ham at home. Not the easiest of fixtures. And it's going to be interesting to see how this season prevails. Will we finish inside the top 4? I don't know. But for me, Arsene Wenger, there's a coffin with him in it. The nails are starting to get firmly banged into it at the minute. He's not doing himself any favours. The lineup today was just mental. The tactics, there weren't any, really. I love the guy. I've got so much respect for the man. But for me, it can't carry on. We've got such a good squad. We've got so much money behind this team. We are a massive club. Make no bones about it. We are massive, and we should not be subject to these abject and mediocre performances, because we are better than this. We are so much better than this, and I just think we need someone that can get more out of these players, because they're very, very good players, but they're not having the best brought out of them at the minute. So for me, something has to change, and I do think it will be sparked with a change of manager. I'm not going to say Wenger out. If he's sensible enough to realise that this club isn't going anywhere with him in charge of it, then he should do the right thing and step down at the end of the season. That's my take on it anyway. Let's win the FA Cup for him. Let's send him out on somewhat of a high, but this is just bitter at the moment. It's bitter. It's a really bitter pill to swallow, and the longer this goes on, the worse it's going to get for him. So anyway, guys, please do drop a like on this video, as weird as that may sound. Please do subscribe to AFC Game by Game. Next week, I've got a documentary coming out on what's going on with Arsenal at the minute, which should be, I'm looking forward to seeing how that comes out. It's quite long, it's about half an hour long, but it certainly does shed some light on the situation regarding Arsenal in a minute, some different opinions, some contrasting opinions, but all around a good discussion I had with a couple of Arsenal fans, and I'm telling it from my perspective as well. So yeah, please do keep your eyes out for that next week, but I don't want to talk about tonight too much because it's downright depressing. Anyway, do try to have a good Saturday evening in some way. As I say, drop a like on the video, and I'll be speaking to you very soon.